I don't know about you, but I used to squirm if I was put in a chair. I would slouch and slump. I would slide practically onto my back. I would slide right out of the chair onto the ground sometimes. I would sit up really straight and then find myself in trouble, and then I would repeat the whole process. I didn't know how to support my weight in such a way that I could stay. I used to say I'm the world's worst sitter. I can't sit for more than a moment or two without being uncomfortable and feeling a need to change position, until I learned how to sit. And I learned how to sit in a combination of influences that came upon me. I'm happy to tell you the people who were involved in it, but each of them only gave me a little piece of the puzzle, as did studying anatomy and as did doing sports and looking at movement mechanics. Eventually it dawned on me like, okay, well, it's great to have good movement mechanics, but you have to have static mechanics correct before you can have good movement or dynamic mechanics. So I went back and said, wait a minute, if I can't get into the correct position in a static or still way, how the heck could I ever be expected to go through the right positions in movement? So let's take a look at sitting just a little bit, because most definitely, if we think, for instance, of royalty can sit for hours on end, and they're comfortable, and they don't have to shift, and they're not slouching, and they're not falling out of their chair, and they're not constantly changing. They're just regal and there, and they're happy. Why is that? What are they doing? And I'll tell you what they're doing. One, they sit back in the chair. They went to the back of the chair so that there is a little bit of support. They don't have to. They could sit on the front edge of a chair for a good long while. But to get into a chair and take full advantage of the chair, we go all the way back in the chair. Once you're all the way back in the chair, you want to feel most of the weight on what are known as your sit bones, but not back on them. This isn't on your sit bones. This is slouched to the nth degree. Your sit bones are back here. They're under here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're under here, and they're off the chair at this point. My sit bones are now positioned on the chair. And in fact, I want to be not at all on the back part, slouching back onto my coccyx. I want to be on the front of those sit bones as they convert into becoming part of my thigh, or the back of my thigh, so that if I'm pushed back on the chair, I can get onto the frontmost part of my sit bones and then sit up. And the weight is now here as well as on the sit bone. So like when you stand on your feet, your weight is on the front of the foot and the back of the foot equally. That's balanced. You're not just on your heels or just on the balls of the feet, but you find a happy medium between them. I am now sitting on the chair with weight on the sit bone, but also all the way forward on the back of my thigh, there's weight distributed so that I can't even begin to say all my weight is in one point. All my weight is distributed all the way from the front of the chair, all the way to the back of the chair, which means there's almost no load anywhere, which means that I can hold this posture for a good long while. Now, once I learn how to stack the rest of me above that, so that the bones can do the work, then I can hold this posture for a long, long time without even thinking about it. I can pay attention to all the other things that I'm doing, whether I'm working at my desk, whether I'm reading at my desk, whether I'm talking to you, whether I'm having conversations with people, whether I'm giving a presentation from a chair, and I'm perfectly comfortable to be up, erect, balanced, and not shifting around, not squirrely, not so unbalanced that people are noticing the fact that I'm constantly shifting. They can pay attention to me because I'm stable. They can pay attention to what I'm saying because that's the only moving part. That's the only message. The message isn't, oh my gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know how to get, I don't know, should I be sitting? Should I, you know, that doesn't work. And that's just terribly distracting. And if you want to give a message, sit back in your chair, get the weight onto the front of the sit bones, put lots more of it on the back of your thighs, distribute the weight through that whole part of your leg so that you can sit upright above it with feet firmly planted on the floor. And in fact, even now, while my feet are on the floor, there's a few pounds of pressure on each foot. Not very much, but there is a little weight distributed on my foot. It takes weight off of me. It makes it just that much easier to support my upper body with my lower body. So much so that when I go to stand up out of a chair, something we'll talk about on another talk, how to get up out of a chair. But when I go to get up out of the chair, I don't have to lean forward much. Right now the weight is over the chair, and all I want to do is get forward enough so that the weight is over my feet. Then I can just rise without leaning way forward, practically putting my head between my knees, picking my butt up first, and then cranking from the back in order to straighten back out. In fact, if I wish to rise, I just lean forward that little bit, just from there to there. That's enough so that I just start to push down on my feet, and up I will go like this. And it's just that little movement, that little shift, so that I can then rise. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going down into a balanced position, I'm coming up into a balanced position, I'm balanced throughout the movement so that if I wished to change my mind at any point, I could. And we'll talk more about that whole balance of how to sit, how to stand, how to walk, how to move, how to run. But it starts out with static before we go dynamic. Dr. Doug Graham reminding you to go to health. Hi guys, Dr. Doug Graham here, and I have a question for you today. Are you passionate about helping others reach their fullest health and performance potential? Do you love coaching others? Because if you do, I have a tremendous opportunity to offer you today. With the 80-10-10 Coaching Certification Program, we'll help you turn your passion into profit. We'll show you how to reach clients anywhere, anytime, and you can be confident because you're learning from 3 of the most trusted and experienced people in the raw food movement. Turn your passion into a career while you're helping others get the health that they so desire and deserve. We'll give you the training, the tools, and all the support you need to become a successful 80-10-10 certified coach. Sign up today to become a level 1 coach.